Transformation doesn't start beautiful. It starts like this. Today I'm sharing 5 elegant spring and Easter DIYs that look high-end but cost almost nothing. Spring is a season of transformation, and I think our homes can reflect that too. Stick with me because I'm even giving something away for free to anyone who wants it. And it's my favorite. If you're new here, I've been turning budget pieces into high-end decor for years, and what I've learned is transformation isn't about spending more, it's about seeing potential. But before we get started, I want to give a big thank you to Subi for partnering with me on this episode. Now, let's start with something simple and turn it into a statement piece. The first thing that we are going to work on are these giant Easter eggs that you can get at the Dollar Tree. I can't remember if they're $5 or $7, but they are ginormous. They are huge. And they felt, they're plastics, but I knew that we could make them look like something way high end. And it's going to start by us painting it out on this first one. And just as a heads up, we're going to do 2 variations. So I took this out back and I sprayed it in white paint. This gives us a nice neutral starting point. We're not gonna paint the third egg that we're doing differently because I have something else in mind for that one. So once the white paint is dried, what I did is I took some toile tissue paper that I ordered off of Amazon, and this is black and white. And I feel like this gives such a bold statement. This is in the same vein of what I did in a recent episode where I did like the green and white kind of toile napkin, kind of like that, but these were bigger. These are like big pieces of tissue paper, and what I did is I Mod Podged them right onto the egg, and it did give it kind of like a crinkly effect, and that's okay. And then where it didn't cover, I just cut out little sections and Mod Podged those in so the entire egg was covered. Now, we could have stopped there, and that would have been cool, but I took some black candlesticks that I had from my stash from the Dollar Tree from forever ago. So far, most of this is from the Dollar Tree, with the exception of the tissue paper, which we did order on Amazon really affordably. Then I took a green floral foam disc and glued that to the top of our candlestick. And then I glued our giant egg on top of that. Now, this could look really cool just as is, sans the floral foam. But what I really wanted to do is bring in just a little something extra by bringing in some white flowers. And I also used some of those black and white anemones that we used in a previous episode, because I really thought that that would be very striking with the black and white that was already on the Easter egg. And I love the black center of that white flower. So those were really a star of the show. And then I just filled it in with some other white flower greenery and really gave it that Easter spring feel. And that was it. I made 2 of these because I could put them on either side of my fireplace, or a lot of times you can flank it on your fireplace mantle or on a buffet or something like that. You could just get away with doing one if you wanted to, because I am going to do just one as like a statement centerpiece here in just a second. This one turned out really cute. I'm really happy with it. And eggs have always symbolized new life, right? I love starting with that in spring. This is such an ordinary base from the Dollar Tree, but when you scale it up, it feels like the palette is intentional and it instantly elevates it. Transformation doesn't always require a dramatic change. Sometimes it's just adding a little dimension. From a plastic Easter egg to a sculptural statement piece, spring has a way of doing that. All right, up next is another Easter egg, and this time this is kind of like a redemption piece. Now we're gonna call this the Damask napkin redemption egg, because I don't know if you remember this napkin from last week's episode, that I really loved the subtle damask pattern on this. Then we put it on a base, and then I Mod Podged over the exterior part of it, and then the pattern disappeared. It still left a really cool texture, and I really ended up loving loving that vase upon completion, but we did lose the cool damask pattern on it. So we're gonna do basically the same thing we just did with the previous eggs, and we are gonna Mod Podge this on. Now, we didn't need to paint it this time because this napkin is so thick. It was basically like fabric. I'm gonna hang on to these napkins because I have some beautiful black dishes with, and then I have some black and white, like speckled kind of like animal print dish. And I think that these napkins would look so good with that. However, we're gonna use it on this Easter egg. So similar process, we're Mod Podging this on the outside. We're filling in those gaps. On this one, because it's a little bit thicker, there is gonna be a little bit more puckering, and you might need to take some scissors and make some relief cuts and things. So this is not gonna be perfectly smooth, and that's okay. Now, if you wanted to do this same concept, but without all the puckering, you may be able to like use some vinyl and do a damask pattern. But what I liked about this is this kind of covered up the seam. And that was it. We let it dry. I mean, it was super, super simple. The way I'm styling this is I got my like cake stand that I made from the last thrifting episode where it was made from basically a table lamp and a dish. I thought it would look really great on it, especially since that base was black. And then I took a boxwood wreath and put that underneath it. And I think this is a really cute centerpiece idea. Maybe the black damask is not your thing. You could get like a thinner napkin or another fabric and do it to your home decor. That's what's awesome about this, is it's so flexible. Now, this napkin gave me a run for my money on last episode. However, sometimes it's not the material that's wrong, it's just surface or the finish that you're doing. So the same thing that felt like a failure suddenly feels like very intentional, and I love that little reminder. So if something doesn't work out in the first time you do it, it's okay to try again in a different way. Not every attempt that doesn't work is wasted. We're gonna take a quick break from the project so that I can come in here and get dinner started and tell you all about Sous Vide. A big thank you to them for partnering with me on this episode. Sous Vide has been my biggest lifesaver these days because of how big of a time saver they have been and how amazing the meals are. If you're new to Sous Vide, it's a smart countertop appliance and meal delivery service that literally makes dinner while I get everything else done, making my life so much simpler. You just load up the trays, tap the recipe card, and pick when you want it to be ready. It refrigerates during the day, then starts cooking all on its own. So you don't even have to be home for it to start, or you could just do it like I'm doing. It's getting close to dinner time and we're gonna put it together. So whatever works best for you and your schedule. Now, as I mentioned, I've been using Sous Vide meals a lot lately during all of my projects that I've got going on right now. When my brain's in DIY mode, especially this massive fireplace project I've been doing, meal planning just isn't happening. But I also love that it's not just for meal kits. I've used the slow cook and air fry modes for my own recipes as well. The food turns out so good, and the best part, there's no prep, no pile up of dirty pans, no wasted ingredients, just dinner done. It's so easy. Let me show you just how easy it is to get dinner on the table. You're gonna be just so blown away. Tonight we are making sweet soy braised beef. I'm gonna pull out all the ingredients real quick. I just store these in my freezer. We're gonna start with the bottom zone just because I already had this rice in my hand. And then we're gonna sprinkle on the peas. The only thing that I ever really need is a little olive oil and salt and pepper, and it's usually for the like little side dish. Just put that in frozen. So this is kind of like a stir fry. Peppers and onions. Okay, so this goes in the bottom zone. This goes in the top zone. Close it. It has this little like thing that you could just push up against to here. Okay, so that automatically loads it up. We're gonna go up here, cooking from frozen, change it to 4 servings because that's what ours is. You can either put schedule cook or cook now, and that's what we're gonna do. And it's cooking. If your evenings feel rushed and chaotic like mine do, and you're tired of standing in the kitchen after a long day, you too can try sous vide totally risk-free for 100 days, which is absolutely amazing. The link's below if you want to check it out and make dinner the easiest part of your day. All right, let's get back to the projects. Next up, we are going to make like a moss bunny / spring centerpiece. And instead of doing something that feels overly themed for spring, I wanted this to feel like a little garden moment, especially since I kill things in the garden. In this arrangement, I'm going to be layering in lots of soft whites and fresh greens, nothing too colorful, nothing too busy. It's just that fresh early spring feel. So what I did is I already had this wood platter. I've had it for years, and this is what you need to do is go around, see if you've got something in your house that could work as a base for a floral arrangement or centerpiece, and then you don't have to buy anything. In my case, I had this, and I'm sure you have something that could work too. And if you don't want to ruin it, but you still want to get that look, what I ended up doing is taking some blue painter's tape and taping along the bottom of our wood dish until it was like thick enough. And then I put some hot glue down and glued our floral foam into place without damaging the bowl. This is a great idea. I know this is something that Lisa does, and it's such a clever hack. And once we're done with this arrangement, we can pull it out damage-free. It's awesome. So then I stuck the bunnies kind of where I wanted them. I did glue them down at first. I didn't end up like completely leaving them exactly like this, but pretty close, and it was really good. I had a whole bunch of greeneries and a whole bunch of white flowers. Most of the white flowers are from the Dollar Tree, especially those big white flowers with the yellow centers. They have those in the Dollar Tree right now, and they really make a statement. A lot of the small flowers I use are from the Dollar Tree. The greeneries, however, most of those are from Hobby Lobby. I always get those on sale. It's kind of like a high-low concept. You use some really nice stuff, some that's a little bit more affordable, you mixing them together, and then it just gives you an overall really awesome look without breaking the bank. The trick with this kind of a centerpiece is keeping it nice and airy. You don't want it like super packed tight. You want it to feel like it could have grown this way. And this is something that I've been saying for years. I'm mixing in different greeneries so it doesn't feel flat. When everything's all the same shape, it starts to look artificial. Let the florals be the star and let the greenery soften everything. And then the moss bunnies, they just kind of nestle in. And what I ended up doing is in the end, after like the arrangement's done, I ended up sticking some wood dowels in them to lift them up a little bit because I felt like they were kind of hiding down into the centerpiece. So we raised them up just a little bit. And that's it. They're not the focal point. They're just a little accent that makes it feel seasonal. This feels like spring without screaming Easter. This is my favorite kind of seasonal decor. Subtle, elevated, and still special. So I love how that turned out, and I hope you did too. Now, if you've made it this far in the episode and you're into transforming your home without spending a fortune, definitely hit that subscribe button. That's what we're all about here. And for those of you who already have, thank you for supporting this channel. You are the best. You are the best. Okay, up next, I came across these little things at the Dollar Tree. And I'm like, that's really springy and super, super cute. And I actually had several different ideas, but I wanted to do something really, really simple that anybody could do. I also had like this, I don't know, it's like a little wood like frame or plaque or something that I got on like the clearance aisle from Hobby Lobby years ago for like $3.50 or something around there. It was super, super affordable. I got it specifically knowing that I would paint it eventually, and that it was not about the artwork at all. So I went ahead and took that outside, spray painted the whole thing in a white base. That kept it nice and neutral for us. Let that fully dry. And then I brought it inside and taped off the frame part. Now I wanted to use a Rub and Buff gold leaf, but for whatever reason I'm either out and I've ended up with like a bunch of antique gold. Gold leaf is my favorite color. It's a little bit brighter and it goes more with like everything that I have, but I didn't have it. So, whoops. But I did have this Gold Rush metallic luster, which is a little bit closer to the gold leaf color. What I don't like about this, it's very translucent at first. What I love about Rub and Buff is it's a way more saturated, intense color. So I went ahead and just used the antique gold as the base to get that good gold saturation and have something to stick to. And then I went back in with this gold luster, which is not as intense, but it will give us a closer look of the gold that I was going for. And I don't love this stuff. It's okay, and maybe I'm just not using it correctly. I don't know. So we got it eventually to the gold we want. Now this one, it was close but a little off of this gold luster, so I just did like a light coat of this on it to make it all tied together. It also added a little dimension as well. And then I just hot glued it into the middle of our wood plaque that we've already painted, and that's it. Super simple. You could do this, anybody can do this. But what I love about this is butterflies might be the most obvious symbol of transformation, but maybe that's why we're drawn to them. They don't skip the messy middle. They don't avoid the cocoon. Transformation always requires a process, just like this project required a process. Taking something flat and giving it depth changes everything. And that's what we're doing in our homes this season, adding depth. And our next project is where you're gonna get something for free. And this last piece is a little bit more personal to me. With all of the fun Easter decor, the bunnies, the eggs, the candy, like all of that, I also always want to include something that reflects what Easter really means in our home. We celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ, and that is just such an important part of who I am. So I created this art print of Jesus walking through a field with one sheep, and I'm giving it away for free. If you would like a picture of Christ in your home, you can download it, and I'll link it in the description box below. It's a digital file, so you will have to print it out yourself, but the artwork is yours to use. Now, I always like to print mine on peel and stick poster paper at Walgreens, and I always use a coupon. They almost always have one for at least 50% off. Then I just peeled off the backing and put it onto a piece of cardboard. Then I just popped it into this gold frame that I've had for years, and that was it. I love this. It's so pretty. You can find frames like this at the thrift store or an estate sale, or maybe you already have something like this in your home already. Sometimes I'll add some Mod Podge for extra texture, but this print actually came out with beautiful dimension on it, all on its own. So I just left this as is, and I just think it is so beautiful. Now, I love mixing the joyful, playful side of Easter with something more meaningful. It just makes our home feel complete. And if this resonates with you, I hope it brings a little peace and hope into your space too. Butterflies don't skip the messy middle. They don't avoid the cocoon. Transformation always requires a process. And I think that's true in our homes too. Not every project works out the first time. Not every idea looks beautiful right away. Sometimes what feels like a mistake is just waiting for the right canvas. Spring reminds us that change is built in, growth is built in, renewal is built in. So if something didn't work the first time, don't throw it out too quickly. It just might need a different surface. Transformation is always possible. And if you want to simplify your routines this season while you're refreshing your home, don't forget to check out Sous Vide below. Now, if you enjoyed this episode, here's another one that I think you'll like as well. And to all of you, I just want to remind you, you are powerful. We'll see you next time. Bye.